malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tujilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
And now for our word of prayer, let's bow our heads. Almighty and ever-present God, we gather today in gratitude and purpose, united by our shared commitment to truth, diplomacy, and the power of storytelling. We thank you for the vision that has brought us here, for the minds that imagined, the hands that created, and the hearts that believed. Bless this event and all who speak and listen. May every word reflect integrity, wisdom, and the spirit of service that defines our nation. May what is unveiled today inspire connection across borders and generations, and honor the voice of Kenya at home and abroad. We honor you today for the leadership of our ministry. We pray that you continue to watch over our Prime Cabinet Secretary and all the principal secretaries. Give them wisdom, patience, and the courage as he continues and as they continue to discharge their responsibility through the leadership. Guide us now and in all that follows. In Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
Every editorial magazine is guided by an editorial policy or vision. May you allow me to invite Director Jacob Ngetich to give us the insights of what this magazine is all about.
Your Excellency, Prime Cabinet Secretary, our Chief of Staff, our PSS, Chairman of the Communication Committee in the National Assembly. It gives me a lot of immense pride and pleasure to announce to you that after several months of burning midnight oil, today we unveil to the world 2 new babies, the culmination of an effort to tell a story: the Phantom Quarterly Magazine and the Phantom website. While we were working on these media platforms, someone, well, not one, not two, but some people asked, why the Phantom? Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to quote our story in our magazine. To his political contemporaries, he is simply Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, all the gentlemen of Kenyan politics. To his childhood friends, former classmates and village mates, however, he is the Phantom, a nickname whose meaning he lived up to this day. Like a phantom defined in the English Oxford Dictionary as something abstract, fast, especially appearing in a dream and hallucination, Mudavadi was swift in the rugby field, where his elusive style of play left opponents clutching at straws. His movements were a blur of speed and subtlety, making him look less like a man and more like a fleeting vision, impossible to pin down. Curiously, His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi's political career, now spanning over 3 decades, mirrors the very qualities that once defined his powers in the rugby field. Today, the Phantom continues to navigate the complex terrains of Kenyan politics with calm and calculated presence. In the often chaotic politics, world of public leadership, amid the ebb and flow of the sea that is Kenyan politics, His Excellency Mudavadi has carved out a reputation as a tactful and trusted team player, never loud and never brash, but plays always there. As a minister in the Moi, Kibaki, and now Ruto administration, and as a major presidential candidate, his tenacity is a staff of legends. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the pleasure of launching a platforms that will tell a story. The story of a seasoned land economist, a liberal democrat of the free market bent, a peacemaker par excellence, a firm human rights defender, and an experienced statesman. The story of a man not only instrumental in liberalizing the Kenyan economy as a Minister of Finance in the 90s, but also a co-architect of the epoch-making devolution under Constitution 2010. The story of a moderate liberal pragmatist, a sober gentleman, and a Kenya's safe pair of hands. The story of a decorated leader and a policymaker with extensive experience at the helm of various cabinet portfolios. The story of a gentleman who in the 1989, at the only age of 28, made history as the youngest minister ever appointed in Kenyan history. A man whose tactful, impactful contribution to the nation's economic policies as Minister of Finance continue to shape the development trajectory. Incidentally, today, we are having interviews of two teams from Kenya Revenue Authority and Safaricom. The two giants that His Excellency Mudavadi had a role in birthing and nurturing their growth to today's larger-than-life place in Kenyan economy. A man who throughout his distinguished career has achieved remarkable milestones, including being the only cabinet secretary to avail stewardship of all concurrent portfolios across multiple ministries, further demonstrating his versatility and steady hand for which he is famed. The two channels under the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary provide us an opportunity to tell a story, a beautiful story of an assuming man with a presence of mind, a critical thinker, a mentor, a husband, and a father. I would like to challenge the audience here to mention to me any single politician with the humble mien of Dr. Mudavadi. After having served 36 years in the history in highest ranks of public office, including being the 7th Vice President, Deputy Prime Minister, and a minister in many key ministerial positions across several administrations, working under 4 presidents. Today, he plays a pivotal role in steering Kenya's economic diplomacy, championing international partnership that fosters trade, investment, and development as a gatekeeper of our interests in the global stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kenyan story is inevitable. It is inevitably the story of men and women who helped steer the ship that is our country through their roles. Through the Phantom website and the Phantom Quarterly magazine, I'm deeply humbled and privileged to daily author the ever-evolving story of the indomitable Musalia Mudavadi, the son of the late Moses Substone Mudavadi and the late Mama Anna Mudavadi. That story will always be the story of the nation, of the Kenyan nation, as authored daily through the words and deeds of one of the finest sons. Thank you very much. I now welcome our Chief of Staff to give his remarks and then invite the rest of the guests.
Good evening, Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Excellency, Principal Secretaries. Before I speak, just allow me to quote from William Shakespeare in his book Julius Caesar, where he said, "There is a tide in the affairs of men, if taken leads to voyage, omitted leads to shallow waters." And Excellency, you are indeed our constant northern star that we follow. And just to say it with a light touch, what Director of Press, Mr. Julius Jacob Ngetich said about the Phantom is true. I do recall in the old days when we were in school, you were truly a phantom. And every time the Prime Cabinet Secretary walked onto the field, he was the top 100-meter champion in the national schools competition. So truly a phantom. On the rugby field, we were left chasing shadows as he strode to make numerous tries that he did. And Excellency, it's not difficult to speak about a man who has achieved so much and yet very humble in his demeanor. If you just allow me, I know Ngetich has said a lot, but I do recall as a young finance minister, you did participate and you were instrumental in setting up the Kenya Revenue Authority. Before that, there was income tax, there was customs, and that was in community. When you moved to transport and communication, you were instrumental in setting up, freeing the airwaves, where we got Safaricom, Airtel, and I do recall when you visited Geneva in 1999-2000, Bill Gates did name you Man of the Year. And then again, you were instrumental in the devolutions as the Minister for Local Government. And Excellency, in the interest of time, I could go on and on what you've done. But for the members of the press, mine is just to say, yet again, we are scoring, His Excellency is scoring. We now have a foreign policy. The foreign policy that we have culminated in a sessional paper that had contributions from people of all sectors of life, and this foreign policy is truly a Kenyan policy. So I say again, kudos, Your Excellency. And for this phantom, the good part of it is that it gives us a footprint for people in diaspora, diplomats, people of all walks of life, to get a glimpse of what Kenya has managed to do. Your Excellency, together with the Principal Secretary for Foreign Affairs, Dr. Korir Singoe, and Madam P.S. Rosalind Njogu, you have put Kenya on an unenviable footpath. So, Excellency, I would say that this is a magazine that, and a website that will inform and educate Kenyans. And with this few and many remarks, Excellency, I know you've come from a long trip. Allow me to introduce and call the principal secretaries that are in the ministry. From the very onset and without any hierarchical order, kindly allow me to call Madam Aurelia Rono, the Principal Secretary, Parliamentary and Legislative Affairs. Madam Aurelia Rono, vous avez la parole, s'il vous plaît.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, my colleague PSS, Mheshimiwa Kiarie, and the Fourth Estate members who are here. Good evening. Yeah, it's really such an honor to stand before you this evening as we launch the Phantom magazine and website. Your Excellency, as it has been said by the Chief of Staff and the earlier speakers, we really thank God for you. We really appreciate the work that you've done for this government and the work that you are continuing to do for our government. This is such a great opportunity to launch that magazine and the website. Just for people, it's good for the entire country to know what you have done and what you are doing going forward. At this juncture, Your Excellency, I really want to appreciate your guidance and your support as we were starting the State Department for Parliamentary Affairs from the scratch. Your Excellency, in a period of 2 years, we've been able to do a lot. I know if it wasn't for your support and your guidance, through the experience that you've gathered over years, we could not be here as a State Department where you are saying we have a portfolio for the first time as a government that the portfolio for legislation, policies, and statutory instruments that the government is working on that shows a lot of orderliness in government. Your Excellency, I also want to appreciate the guidance you've given us, even towards developing the public policy handbook that is ensuring the standardization of policies in government so that there is clear, standardized policies that we are developing and that are supposed to be monitored to ensure that there is impact in the policies that we are developing as a government. Your Excellency, as I close, quite a number of things that you've guided us to the State Department for Parliamentary Affairs. As I close, Your Excellency, there is the digitization. We are happy as a State Department because you've really guided us to ensure that we align with the dream of our administration, that we digitize government services, including the over 22,000 government services that has been digitized. We are happy, Your Excellency, for your guidance because we are now towards the end of digitizing the legislative developments, the policy development processes, and the statutory instrument development processes. This will shorten the entire monitoring process or the entire process of developing policies in government. And everyone will be aware during public participation in the entire development of the legislative proposals or policies or regulations, everyone will be aware of what state that initiative is at. All this, Your Excellency, is because of your support, your guidance, and your continued advice and meetings that you normally organize for us. So as a State Department for Parliamentary Affairs, we are so happy to launch this today, and we appreciate, Your Excellency, the support and the guidance. We'll always support you also as you deliver on your mandate. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you again, Your Excellency. With your kind permission, please allow me to call PS National Government Coordination, PS Ahmed Abdisalam.
Good evening. Let me also ride on the already established I think well said by the speakers. Informed people will always make informed decision, and it is therefore necessary to pass our information on quarterly basis. There is a lot of activities happening in the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, starting from coordination of national government functions, actually coordination and supervisions of national government functions, performance contracting, religious-related affairs, parliamentary affairs, foreign affairs, diaspora affairs, coordination of the private sector, name it. There is need, therefore, to inform the people of this country all the activities undertaken by this ministry. And that way, they will be able to know what is happening and they'll appreciate. That is why I'm saying only informed people will make informed decisions. I'm sure my colleagues, the principal secretaries from the various state departments and the Prime Cabinet Secretary will compete to provide the information so as to make sure that the people are really informed of what is happening. Having said that, I think the speakers have really spoke about the so many things the Prime Cabinet Secretary have done, right from Parliament to finance, as a Vice President, Foreign Affairs, name it. I think he's one of the few leaders in this country that has vast experience in almost all these areas. The only thing I want to add to is that he's also a great mentor. The principal secretaries working under him really appreciate not only his leadership, but the kind of mentoring he provides so as to make sure that you are always on track in undertaking your functions. Thank you, Bwana PS, and we will always rely on you to lead us and take us to where Kenyans want us to be. Many thanks and asante sana.
Thank you, Excellency, and as I'm here, allow me to send sincere apologies from PS Science and Innovation and Technology, Professor Shokat, who is part of this ministry. He sent his sincere apologies. We also have received our apologies from our PS Diaspora, Principal Secretary Roslyn Jogu. For members of the press, as you're aware, in this office we have the Principal Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, PS Dr. Singoe. We have PS Roslyn Jogu for Diaspora Affairs. We have PS Aurelia Rono, Parliamentary and Legislative Affairs. We have PS Abdisalam for Coordination. And yeah, is there somebody else left? Yes. Yeah, that is it. So PCS, sir, it was deliberate that I leave PS Singoe because really he is the man who assists you to carry the footprint of Kenya's diplomatic endeavors, and the two of you have been an unbeatable combination. So PS Dr. Kipkorir Singoe, please.
Thank you, Joseph. Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, my dear colleagues, PSs, the Chancellor of the Cooperative University, who is here with us, distinguished members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen, allow me first to thank the Prime Cabinet Secretary for being able to bring us together on an occasion such as this, and through him to convey our gratitude to the team behind the idea of this newsletter. This newsletter represents a very important platform that will give us the space critical to our being able to tell our stories. The choice of the title is truly intriguing, and today I think Jacob has helped us understand. I mean, both Jacob and Joseph have helped us understand why the phantom. I want to say from a personal standpoint that I've had the singular privilege of working under the tutelage of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. And I must really say how fortunate I have been to work under him. An truly extraordinary leader. And many people have said that he is humble. That is true. That he is genuine, that he is a team leader or a team worker. All of those facets are true. But behind this humility, I think is a disguise. I think it's a disguise, and I think the idea of the phantom, I think speaks now to the real man, the real persona, because you don't see him, but a lot gets done through him, through his influence, through his engagement. You know, sometimes you think he has disappeared, and then he reappears in a very powerful way and in a very compelling way. I have seen him deliver dramatic results and dramatic negotiation outcomes in a room full of tension and challenges. And I have seen him be able to negotiate difficult consensus amongst disparate parties, whether in Eastern DRC or issues involving Eastern DRC, on issues involving the Ethiopian Somalia tension around the issue of access to a seaport, amongst others. And so the Phantom has guided our foreign policy in the most compelling way, ladies and gentlemen. Through him, like Joseph said, we've been able to secure a new foreign policy, a sessional paper that is truly catalytic, that is truly 21st century in orientation. And through his stewardship, Kenya has been able to be better positioned within the community of nations. And I'm so privileged, that we continue to work through and under him. But there is another dimension of this Phantom, which I want to speak to, which is this sense of invulnerability that encountering the Prime Cabinet Secretary, you encounter somebody who is unmoved by the excitement of the moment, somebody who is able to discern the difference between issues and be able to deconstruct them, simplify them, and help parties be able to arrive, at a consensus. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to be part of this platform, and I look forward very much on behalf of my dear sister Roslyn Jogu to using this platform to disseminate more, what we are doing through our missions, what we are doing through our state visits, and what we are doing, within our headquarters, and what we are doing as well in terms of building partnerships. And so thank you very, very much. I wish this platform a tremendous success. Asante sana.
Yeah. Excellency, please allow me also to introduce by name on members who are on the podium. We have with us the youngest chancellor, I guess, in Africa, Dr. Bernard Chitunga, who is the new chancellor for the Cooperative University. Dr. Chitunga is the youngest chancellor and has been instrumental in helping us in a lot of foreign engagements. Thank you. We also have our principal administrative secretary, Juliana Yapan, who is an experienced administrator. Madam Yapan, thank you. And then, Excellency, you will allow me for a moment to also give one of the young legislators, Kiarie. Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much, Joe. I really appreciate this. Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, your invited guests and dignitaries, members of the Fourth Estate, and everybody gathered here, good evening. Your Excellency, the PCS, you're a man of many fasts, and this is yet another fast. And allow me to state some few facts before I lay my case. Fact number one is that Kenya today is leading globally on the use of OpenAI and especially ChatGPT. The biggest use across the world of ChatGPT is Kenyans. Fact number two, the global average of people using social media in a day is around 2 hours and 13 minutes. In Kenya, the average time Kenyans are spending on social media is 4 hours, 12 minutes. Again, Kenya leads in use of social media. What is also fascinating is to ask, all this connectivity that we get as Kenyans, are we using it for productivity or are we using it for negativity? Hence, fact number three, that the global average on concern on misinformation is at 53%. In Kenya, the concern on misinformation on social media is at around 83%. What we are doing here today, launching a website and launching a magazine, is to start to seed the right information out there to the audiences, because government either tells its story or government story shall be told by other people, and that story might not be told in the way that government wants to tell it. We're in a new world. This new world of emerging technologies, and especially artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, the Internet of Things. It is a new world. And this new world is being driven by data. This data is in the form of words and figures. And word and language becomes important because each and every speaker who has spoken here is telling a story of individuals and of country. If we are not telling our story, then somebody else will be telling our story out there. And think about it. Today, artificial intelligence is scraping data out of the internet. Data that is already written, data that is already curated, data that is already presented. It's already in the internet, and it is out of that artificial intelligence is scraping data, organizing it, and using it for machine language and the development of large language models. Now today, AI is speaking to the tune of 46.5% in English, meaning that all the data that is being scraped out of the internet, out of it, 46% is English. German comes second. There could be some Russian. Then the question begs, when shall it be a time when AI shall speak my language, Gikuyu, or speak Kamba, or speak Swahili, or speak Sheng, or even speak Luya or Tiriki, or whichever other language in Kenya? For us to get there, we will have to decide as a country to take advantage of these platforms that are being presented. Today, it is the phantom website. We can feed our data onto this website. It will be there for posterity. When data is being scraped off the internet, our information shall be there. Today, it is the phantom magazine. Tomorrow, it shall be the digital innovation hubs that we are creating in each and every single ward of this country. That we are out there trying to build 1,450 digital innovation hubs, one in each and every ward of country. Meaning that Kenyans in every corner of this country shall have an information and an opportunity to be able to feed in our data, feed in our languages, feed in our thinking, feed in our arguments, feed in our culture, so that this time round, Africa does not sleep through this revolution, what we are calling the fourth industrial revolution, because when the world was making decisions about steam engine and mechanization, Africa was not there. When the world was making decisions about electricity, Africa was not there. When the microchip was being developed in the third industrial revolution, Africa again slept through that revolution. And so, what we are witnessing here is not just the launch of a website or the launch of a quarterly magazine. It is the launch of a platform, a bandwagon, onto which Kenyans can feed data into, data that shall be there for posterity. Let me end by saying that we are also launching your refurbished office. It is a thinker by the name of Wolfgang who said that let everybody clean their doorstep and the whole world shall be clean. Your Excellency, the PCS, we are coming back here to the railways building. The last time I was here, there was nothing to write home about. It was dusty, it was dilapidated, it was run down, it was properly out of service. What I have seen is an effort of repurposing an institution building that in itself carries great history for this country. By renovating this building, bringing it into today and fit for purpose into the future, is us connecting ourselves to the roots of this country. We know that this country was built out of that railway line that was to run from Mombasa to Uganda. This building was the headquarters where Kenya was birthed. And today, you have taken this amazing relic, repurposed it. It is now fit for purpose for a time such as this and well into the future. And for that, Your Excellency, the PCS, we congratulate you for the launch of the Phantom website. We congratulate you for the launch of the Phantom quarterly magazine. And we congratulate you for repurposing this amazing piece of infrastructure. And we give you a round of applause, Your Excellency. We thank you very much. And everybody has said that you have had a turn to change history in many sectors in this country. For us, who are in the communication sector, we will truly be thankful to you now and into the future for moving us from this monolith that was Kenya Post and Telecommunication Corporation, repurposing it into what we now know as Posta Kenya, Telcom Kenya, Communications Authority, Airtel, Safaricom, all of them birthed when you are the Minister for Communication and Transport, and you are the one who heralded us into the third industrial revolution, and now also calling us up to the fourth industrial revolution. We thank you very much for the invite, and we are glad to be associated with you on this momentous day. Thank you very much. Asante.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we now welcome the Phantom himself, Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Your Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. Vous avez la parole.
Thank you. Good afternoon, rather good evening. Good evening. First of all, let me start by extending an apology to you. I left very early in the morning to be in Malava, and I was destined to be here by 11, and the weather was extremely difficult. In fact, I was looking through the Citizen Digital, and I saw that they have warned, the Mets have advised that until 22nd, that is on Wednesday, we must be very careful because we should anticipate extremely hostile weather, a lot of rains, a lot of winds. So, tafadhali muelewe kidogo, it was not my intention to keep you here this long. But nevertheless, thank you for being there. I am the Phantom. And they have aptly given some background to it, because it dates back to my extremely agile moments when I was very swift and suave. I could sprint, I could play rugby, I could play soccer, I could play hockey, I could swim, I could sprint. So I was gifted in the sporting arena, and I had that versatility. So when Jacob, and I hope Jacob is here with his team, because these are good people, the Jacob Ngetich, when he joined us, and he said that we need to work a little more in improving communication from the government circles. I said, please go ahead, develop something, work on it with your team so that we can improve. Because government is good at its business of governing, but it may not be very good at its business or in the business of communication. So we did hire one from your school, from your constituency, in the name of Jacob Ngetich and his partners. And I think I was equally pleasantly surprised that quietly they had been working towards this publication, and also blending in on your technology and in the technology field so that you can communicate faster, quicker, and with less pressure. So I want to thank them, because what we have before us today is an opportunity for us to convey government policies, government decisions, government actions more effectively, in a timely manner, and in a manner that can be widely spread across the board. The platform, as you will see later, is interactive. We will want to be getting information. We have taken time to also go a little bit into the history, but it's going to be forward-looking so that we can understand where we are going, and sometimes what informs certain decisions. Government does quite a bit. In fact, it does a lot. But sometimes it's how you package the information. And we will need help to package that information from experts in communication. And by the way, we also need your help in packaging this information. I don't want us to leave this place thinking that we are adversaries with members of the media. We are not adversaries. We can work together, we can develop together, we can move and help our societies understand issues even better. And we can also correct ourselves through that kind of communication that is going to emerge from this. So I want to thank my colleagues for being very supportive. You will be seeing communication from time to time on a number of issues, topical issues that are critical, matters that relate to legislation. PS Rono has told you about tracking, a lot of things. The government legislative agenda for the period that this government is in place, the Kenya Kwanza government, we have about 700 pieces of legislation or matters that revolve different departments, but all packaged. This will be an opportunity for us to start seeing this and communicating better. We want to track bills in Parliament and be able to convey them to the people. Under the coordination, we want to bring coordination together. We want to revive the National Economic and Social Council so that we can have better engagement with investors, with the public, with the community to make Kenya better. In terms of the foreign policy, you remember we said when we were developing the policy with PS Singoe, we kept on saying we must demystify foreign policy. Tunataka foreign policy iende mashinani so that people understand more the kind of decisions that we make and why they're important. You've seen in Parliament, we go there, people ask questions, why don't you retaliate to this country or that country? Why don't you hit back? Why don't you do what? And we have to explain carefully that we cannot just do that because there are implications. There are many things involved that bring together our relationships as a country, with our friends, with our neighbors. And this calls for a lot of diplomacy, diplomatic engagement, and understanding is important. One of the things that we also look at is what is, sometimes you've seen xenophobic tendencies re-emerging in our society. You can see people are beginning to get jittery about what you call migration, or we call it labor mobility. They get worried when they hear about migration. People go to that's part of democracy. People go to meetings in other areas, and you start seeing resentment. We have seen in countries, people are beginning to even deny nationals of another country or other countries from getting treatment, medical treatment. You're being turned away in hospitals. So when we talk about getting together and working, there's need for us to really pull our efforts together, remain united, be strong in diplomacy, be patriotic, speak to the Kenyan issues, so that at all times we know that we are important for everybody. Now that is a sign that the rains are here. So I will stop there so that we can unveil the magazine, the publication, and also to have it accessible to the people to start interacting with it and seeing the content. And hopefully we'll get your critiques and your feedback so that as we roll forward, we improve on the content and what is important to be shared by us and other people. Thank you very much. I think it's time for us to do the needful. What do you want us to do next? You want us to step there? Thank you. Asanteni sana.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now go live. The Prime Cabinet Secretary is officially cutting the ribbon to officially launch the Phantom magazine. 5, 4, 3. Launch of the website, ningependa Prime Cabinet Secretary will give the callers tafadhali kurudi hapa kwa picha kidogo, passport photo session. Tafadhali Prime Cabinet Secretary, naomba turudi hapa kidogo kwa photo session ya dakika 2. Let the book be the backdrop. And as Haji will give us the vote of count.
Oh, they're done? Oh, yeah, actually.
Right here. Thank you. All right, there we go. Thank you. Prime Cabinet Secretary, tafadhali turuhusu tupeane zawadi kidogo kabla ya vote of thanks. Okay, a photo, Your Excellency. Thank you. A photo, Your Excellency.
Smile,
A
smile.
photo, Your Excellency. Thank you. A photo.
One for my chairman.
A photo. Thank you. Yes, a photo. Yes, yes. That's how you want it? Yes, yes. That's perfect. Thank you. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Yes, that. We're good.
Oh, okay. Sound?
Yes.
Sound?
Yes.
Thank you, Excellency.
On your platform. Yes, yes.
You've been impressive from University, the MP Nairobi South, our members of staff from all the state departments and the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, members of the fourth state and our distinguished guests. Asante sana, karibuni tena, interact with the Phantom magazine, the Phantom website, and Phantom himself. Thank you very much. Let us pray.
Watu wameke busy, alenge tu. Play prayers. Nitatuma zote. Chukua namba 076